A career spanning medicine, politics, and national service. Why take the leap from medicine to member of parliament and minister? And who is the man beyond the political platform? The husband, the father. My guest is the Deputy Prime Minister, National Security Minister, and veteran Member of Parliament, Dr. Horace Chang. I'm Archibald Gordon. This is Profile. Welcome to Profile, or I should say welcome back to Profile, part 2 in this case of my interview with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security and Member of Parliament for Northwest St. James, Dr. Horace Chang. And when we ended part 1 of the interview, we were talking about you sort of developing your political philosophy at the time and deciding the direction in which you wanted to go. And you said you had, a couple of different incidents that happened, including that sort of consultation with Edward Seaga, then JLP leader at the time.
Yeah.
How did that manifest in terms of you running for Parliament?
All right. After I had my discussion to Seaga, and we're nearly, I was still doing my 4th year in medicine, but the 76 election was coming. And I said everybody had thought of it, but the university was pretty dominant still on the, what you might call the left side. I had a BITU delegate take me to meet Mr. Ozzy Harding at his home. So I joined the party formally. The late Clinton McGann signed my membership along with Ozzy Harding. But then I decided I would just get involved in moving around the campus like everybody else was doing on campus. There was the radicals, our Communist Party members, and there was the socialists and PNP members. So everybody took an interest. It was not as tense as it is now, so you felt free to go there. And I went up into the hills of Maryland, in the East Road, St. Andrew, Mavis Bank, Woodford, Irishtown, and beside campaigning and engaging people for the party, it was good fun. So I just kept doing it. Traveled extensively, and also got a chance to move out into other areas because the campaign started. And worked with Ozzy, but there were not many of us with him. In fact, the campaign team was pretty small, so I became quite involved. Did everything except fundraising, right? And did work for the party. The Maryland here, still well known up there. I have to go and visit them because we had left some good friends there. And got to know the kind of ABC of Jamaican politics. Just what a PD structure is, what mobilizing the workers and the voters for the parties, and that really is the base of the strength of our democracy, that you have so many of our grassroots people involved in the political organization. It is still looked a bit upon by some of the independent commentators and seaters, like how they say we are the gangs of God knows, but the truth is, if you do not involve people at this level in a meaningful way, though they're claiming you're buying the vote. There are a lot of, I think the comments are quite disrespectful of them, quite frankly, Mr. Oakley here. A lot of the liberal commentators are, and where they have not made the progress in change, they are disrespectful of elite people. These people are not, to them, I find that politics are the few things that give them some identity. Mm-hmm. And it gives them a chance to speak to people in authority. They're not going to, to see a young doctor who listens to them, the start of the person, it's quite different. It's something that for a poor person means something, because one of the biggest problems in this country is that nobody listens to the very poor.
This is something that you started to understand better when you went out to run in your own constituency as well.
I was sent out once, to investigate a constituency on behalf of the party leader, and you will hear this come out as well, I would die hard and manipulate, which is not true. I went to the gentleman's house, and he was out in the field, and I had the road home, pretty much like where I come from in my country, a little veranda chair, and I sat on it and waited on him. I say, don't go over there, he will come. I was going to walk over to the bush and I see him, and he came up. He had some products on his head, he put it down, put on the machete, washed it, and came up and stood before me, and he just looked at me and said, what are you here for? So I said, the party leader asked me to come to speak to him, because there was a difficulty in the country we're trying to overcome with the individual leadership. And I said, yes, that's what I came to do. And he said to me, you mean my leader, Mr. Siaga, sent you, Dr. Chang, to come speak to me? I said, yes. And he just looked at me and said, what does my leader want? So for him, it meant a certain recognition that he would not have gone elsewhere outside of this kind of democratic operation. The part, if my leader is sending you to talk to me, then I will do what my leader wants.
And that is something you would have encountered when you went out to try to become a member of parliament your own, and succeeded in doing it.
Yes.
And became one of a group of young men, young people in parliament at the time.
Yeah.
When that sort of, I would say perhaps a shock or reality shock?
No, well, what you having seen the news
thought of parliament, you saw something.
No, but I went to Hanover, and it's another part of Jamaica, literally. I grew up in the hills in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, which is populated by independent small farmers. And the word independent still with those is very strong. Where these people feel very sure about themselves. They may be humble, but they are confident about themselves. And going to Hanover was a ex-sugar belt. And the advocates of the sugar industry, I don't think, still don't appreciate the level of poverty and the margins of the sugar estate. It is horrible. And for that reason, my first presentation in Parliament was to ask to go to begin the process of replacing sugar, because sugar industry is the cause of persistent poverty. Many of my friends think I did wrong and that I should serve in a sugar constituency, but that was the impression I wanted. The poverty was shocking, really shocking. And we started to work to bring some change, and we got some things done. I got involved with the constituents, and we also got experience. We had activities I could do beside organizing small farms in various activity. In areas where the sugar had gone dead, we also had the beginning of the tourism industry. I was involved in getting the start of at least one new hotel. And interestingly, my gift church, I was at the CDB Bank, was trying to fund us. It took a long time, and that was a lesson in governance practice, because with devaluation setting in, the numbers keep changing, and it took us 3 years or 4 years to start the building.
CDB, for clarity, that's Caribbean Development Bank. But at this point, you're also talking about just the difficulties of what it means to actually be on the ground and to actually get things done that actually assist people. But we have to take our first break in this program on Profile. My guest is the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of National Security, and Member of Parliament for North West St. James, Dr. Horace Chang. And we are back with you after these messages.